All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Yonks with Real Estate Tokenization, REtoken DAO, and this is our weekly community call. It is Wednesday, July 28th, and we are currently hosting this call on a weekly basis on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm super excited here, and this is actually going to be the very first community call that we're uploading on the YouTube channel. So if you're tuning into YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button. So REtoken, Real Estate Tokenization, it's a very exciting, we believe that real estate tokenization is going to be the next big trend in real estate and crypto. Right now, most people are familiar with either Bitcoin or Ethereum, and those are utility tokens. And real estate tokenization is a security token of real world assets. And right now, this is really ground floor or potentially even basement floor. And the REtoken community, we're looking to be the premier community. So right now, I'm actually sharing the Trello board that we have to one of the tools that we're using for collaboration. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the agenda for tonight's call. So as I was mentioning, the REtoken community is gaining momentum. And I'm going to just read really here what the vision is that we have for the REtoken community. This is, for those that aren't familiar, we've got DAO, D-A-O right here. And what a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. And that's really something that we're creating this community to be owned and operated by the community. And we're just getting started with this process. We actually had our very first DAO working group last night. And that's actually one of the upcoming events over here is the requirements breakout. And that's one of the things where we're going to be doing a deeper dive, and we're really inviting everybody to participate that is interested in either real estate, tokenization, crypto, the decentralized autonomous organization. We really believe that that is the future in a lot of different areas, and especially the way to govern things. And that's what the requirements breakout is really going to be taking a step back and really looking at the requirements process for that. So one of the other upcoming events that we have is the Real Estate Tokenization Clubhouse. We're currently hosting on a weekly basis at Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and the one coming up here on Friday is at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's the Real Estate Tokenization Club on Clubhouse. And we also have one of the things that's super excited about that we just spun up this weekend when we were having a deeper dive is our Slack. And we've got a link in here for that, for the Slack group. And we'll get a link to this Trello board added over here on our website. So wanted to congratulate Teresa, and this is very much a work in progress, so it's not complete by any means, but wanted to congratulate Kenneth and Teresa. They really took that initiative here early in the week to get that online. So a lot of things are happening very quickly. And on that note, I wanted to go ahead and hand it over to Teresa so that she could introduce herself and fill in some of the gaps as far as what we've got and what she's excited about to be involved with this community. Over to you, Teresa.
Thanks, Jason. I'm Teresa Kennedy over on the East Coast. And what we've worked on so far is building community through Clubhouse. I've also got a meetup.com group for real estate tokenization, where we will have online meetings and in-person meetings for those that are here on the East Coast. And we have started to lay the foundation for a podcast. We have several guests who have agreed to speak on the podcast. And we also are working our way through the tokenization challenge with Fibery to have a use case of tokenization. What am I missing? Anything?
Do you want to talk a little bit more about the podcast? I know that we had some solid conversations, and I feel really optimistic about getting our podcast online here. And I guess it's almost August. Just looking at my watch, we're a couple days away from August. So yeah, I'd love to hear some more of your thoughts on what those conversations look like and the direction that we've got with the podcast.
I think it's looking pretty good for such a niche area. The initial concern was, will we have enough to talk about? But actually, after laying everything out and writing everything down, we've got enough content for a strong a year of podcast, a strong 12 months. And I'm pretty sure so much will emerge that we'll want to squeeze in and put in there conversations around how people are going to be able to utilize this technology to do more in our landscapes and in real estate, how it will change financial markets and how people package their real estate deals and get funding to be able to accomplish things they wouldn't have been able to before. Once you get in the groove of this, and initially getting started is always the challenge. So working through this as a collective, knowing that in the end, a system will be available that will pretty much disrupt it, not only just the industry technically, but what we'll be able to do as people in our community. And so I'm looking forward to having those conversations, how people are utilizing the technology across the world, as well as in our local communities, um, how marginalized communities are engaging and can engage to be a part of this process and its growth. And our role in educating one another and working with one another and getting through it, highlighting businesses that are able to create win-win situations, and um, just talking about regulations. There's so many. I really like Philip Michael and what he's doing in Atlanta. I'd like for you to talk a little bit about that and the discussions that we'll be having with him on the podcast about the project that he has and other projects that we're looking at highlighting on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. That's we've got a long list of episodes, and one of the things I think that can't be said enough is that we're really wanting to create a community that is open and welcome for those that are optimistic about the disruption in the real estate industry that we believe that is imminent with blockchain technology. So like Teresa mentioned earlier, meetup.com groups, that's one of the things that we're really wanting to create here, so that if you are wanting to position yourself as a real estate professional or a real estate tokenization expert, I'm not aspiring personally to be a real estate professional. I'm more interested in developing, and I love that you mentioned the win-win-win or the triple win business models that we're really passionate about bringing change within our local community. And I think I see Eric on the community call here. Is that you from the area code there that I'm seeing, Eric? Did you want to hop in and introduce yourself real quick, since this is going to be the first uploaded community call to the REtoken channel on YouTube? Because I do have this one recording, so I did hit record this week. And real quick before I hand it over to you, Eric, one of the things that's an interesting story, and I broke that down a little bit here, is how we got to where we are today. And up until this point, we're still talking about the Fibree and Block Square Real Estate Tokenization Challenge, but the people that are on the call here today, Teresa and Eric, we really saw the opportunity of focusing on the real estate niche and creating community around that, because we really believe if we can figure out the tokenization aspect here in the US, that's something that we can scale globally and creating this framework here with a community that's going to be community owned and operated through the DAO. And for those that aren't aware, the DAO is a very new entity type in Wyoming. And I actually had over here on our Telegram chat, we did give Telegram, this is one of the first tweets on REtoken DAO. Over here is the articles of organization, and we literally just filed those here on the 26th, which was on Monday. And that's one of the things that we're working on, having the side conversation via the DAO working groups. And I see that Serge just joined, so we'll let Eric introduce himself, and then after that, Eric, you can kick it over to Serge for an introduction as well. So again, this is the Real Estate Tokenization Community Call, and over to you, Eric.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, my name is Eric Dila. I am calling from Houston, Texas. I am a real estate investor, been in the space of commercial for some time. And to me, looking at what the real estate aspect and being able to see what lies ahead in the future really comes back to the convergence of what technical breakthroughs and also what financial models are out there to help support the growth and really the wealth and the ecosystem within different areas of society. And when I look at tokenization and tokenizing real estate, I'm absolutely thrilled in the way that you can essentially go into a deal and not be tied up into a 3, 5, or 7 year deal and having no liquidity to go out and go after other deals. So from a commercial standpoint, tokenization in real estate is exciting in that sense, but more importantly, it changes the different barrier entries and the points to where not only opens it up to accredited investors, but to other investors that are willing to go in and really go into the process. The beautiful thing about this on the other side is the ability to tap into a liquidity pool that is unmatched, that you will normally see in a fiat currency. And where the Block Square Fibri tokenization challenge really shines is when they open up that liquidity pool with OceanPoint.fi and looks at possibilities of what we can do just in this space. We are just in the beginning, so it really lends itself to some of the challenges of both regulatory compliance, but more importantly, the challenges of coming up with an ecosystem that lends itself to a sustainable goal in what we're all doing here within the opportunity zone and giving back as an investor. So I am an impact investor. I am a social entrepreneur, and I'm just glad to be part of this group and really looking forward to many things ahead with the tokenization challenge.
Thank you so much, Eric. And I also see that Kenneth joined. So next up, as far as introductions go, we'll kick it over to Serge, and then we'll let Kenneth give an introduction. And real quick, before you take over, Serge, I wanted to again thank Kenneth and Teresa for the efforts that they did. This is still very much a work in progress, but they literally got their admin credentials for the WordPress site the other day, and it's looking pretty spectacular. I love the look. So again, great job, guys, and looking forward to, and ladies, Teresa there. So over to you, sir. Looking forward to an introduction for yourself, sir.
Yes, hey guys, I'm Serge. I'm impact entrepreneur from Washington, D.C. area. So my startup, Extreme Mobility Living, is on a mission to help solve housing affordability crisis. We just got a patent 2 weeks ago how to 3D print high-rise buildings. So we're gonna 3D print high-rise buildings and populate with container houses. So I'm Serge and I'm out.
Thanks for the quick intro there. And what would you like to introduce yourself tonight, Kenneth? And again, thank you for the efforts that you and Teresa did on REtoken.info this week.
Yeah, hey everybody, my name is Kenneth. I'm in the Southeast United States, in the Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee tri-state area. And I do a little bit of everything. I'm in a coalition of community-based organizations that are, helping to build communities. I own my own business, which is an on-demand platform for everyday services. And Teresa brought me on board, and every time I get a chance, I always want to thank Teresa for the opportunity to be a part of this opportunity, and looking forward to building with you guys.
Thank you for the quick introduction there, Kenneth, and I am looking forward to seeing where we go and, most importantly, create a community that is a thriving. And most importantly here, I have to introduce my wife, Tyler, who makes all of this possible. She does all of the amazing stuff in the back end, and I don't know, we have a 2-month-old, barely over 2-month-old. So I don't know if you'd like to say anything here real quick, but over to you, Tyler. She's really the one that makes this all possible.
Well, thanks for that very kind introduction. I am excited to just see where this thing's going. It's been fun and cool, and I'm so glad that all of you guys are catching the vision with us. It's just been great. So I'm probably going to be on mute because I got the ambulance going off with my sweet babe, but yeah, definitely listening and excited to be here.
Thanks, Tyler. You are absolutely amazing. So real quick, wanted to circle back to the upcoming events. And the one thing that we had for those that weren't on the DAO working group last night is that we have the DAO requirements. And again, those that aren't familiar, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. And that's something, I've got a list here of some of the sister DAOs that we are creating for this as well. And right now focusing on REtoken, and my expectations are that we can apply what we're learning here to make it a lot easier to create some of these other situations like the Triple Win Foundation. We've mentioned Triple Win, that's something that we are very passionate about. And for those that don't know what that means, it's really like a lot of legacy companies, whether it's a corporation or an LLC or whatever the case may be, most of the time the board that runs those entities, they only have the fiduciary responsibility to think about. And the Triple Win Foundation, that's something that really has the impact, and Eric mentioned impact investing. So it's the impact besides just the bottom line of the company, but the impact to the employees, the impact to the environment there. So it's really the making sure that we're going to be facilitating that through the Triple Win Foundation. And one of the things that really brought us here together, and one of the things that Tyler and I are really looking to also position ourselves as opportunity zones. The OZ Fund DAO is just, we believe, and for those that aren't familiar with an opportunity zone, one of the ways that I like to think of an opportunity zone, and I heard this told to me, is if you have a good business model and then you're able to deploy that within an opportunity zone, and every state, I believe I think the number is 8,741 opportunity zone census tracts. It's a designated census tract in the US that is available for this amazing tax incentive. So that's one of the things over time that we are going to also deploy as a decentralized autonomous organization. And one of the other situations to also can potentially contribute to the capital stack is the Reg CF DAO, regulation crowdfunding. And the regulators made a huge improvement to regulation crowdfunding here in late 2021. They increased the cap from 1 million to 5 million. And that increases a lot more opportunity for startups to be able to deploy capital. And the biggest opportunity surrounding security tokens and tokenization is within the regulation crowdfunding space, because currently there's not a really strong secondary market for any business that goes through the regulation crowdfunding pipeline. So with the tokenization, with regulation crowdfunding, there's a huge opportunity to provide a solid secondary market with the cryptocurrency, because one of the things that's a great way to look at, especially for real estate tokenization, is real estate tokenization is kind of like real estate syndication and crowdfunding, but on a global scale. Now, the thing that we have to keep in mind here is at the end of the day, anything that has fractional ownership and that is representing real world assets it will be construed as a security. And one of the things that will be referred to is the Howey test. And I'm going to just do a real quick Google here since we've talked about that, and this is a nice little recording. So the Howey test has got over here, it's a pretty simple little test, and I'm not going to go into detail. You can do your own little test, but it's like basically 4 little check marks here to answer the question is this a security or not? And that's one of the things that we are very intentional about, is not trying to confuse people. When there's multiple tokens associated with real estate and somebody makes an investment in that and they expect to get a return, it's pretty easy to be construed as a security. So enough about that, but going back to the list here is the opportunity there with the regulation crowdfunding, also as a DAO. And we'll be talking more about that. And the other one that's super passionate to Tyler and I is For Christ Foundation, For Christ DAO. And that's one that we are also pipelining, that we want to utilize this so that we can deploy and work with For Christ centered businesses. So those are other projects that we have in the pipeline that we're also working on. And going back to the real estate tokenization, so the next upcoming opportunity is the DAO requirements breakout. And we have a working group here, and that's something that we really wanted to take a step back, because when we're creating this community, one of the things that we are going to do is best practice, whether it's best practices from a development standpoint or best practices from a legal standpoint. And that's one of the things that Serge had some good input there, that we're definitely, as a process of that, going to engage attorney or legal counsel at the right time when it makes sense, when we, as the team that's doing the foundation for building out this community, agree to move forward with that. And that's one of the things that we're really excited with this DAO working group, is to really put in the foundation for this community, because we really believe that what we're creating here can have lasting impact in all of our communities. And that being said, I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit more here, Teresa, as far as the meetup groups. I know that we've had a little bit of side conversation. What is the vision that you have for the meetup group that you're hosting there in New Jersey?
Well, my vision with the meetup group is to create community and have conversations around the topic. Don't have a predefined outcome of what would occur, but just to get people together so that people know, if I go here, I'm going to be able to have a conversation with other people who know what I'm talking about this thing. And to have a place that we know, when we meet here regularly, we're going to bring the latest and greatest information and share with one another. And then possibly as we move along, deals occur, deals happen, people talk about their deals, what they're doing, support one another in getting projects funded, and just sharing information. That's my goal on a local level. There's things that you can do through Zoom. There's things that you can do through Clubhouse and YouTube and online. But sometimes you just want to hang out around other people and have that face-to-face conversation. So I think that creating the space for that on a consistent, regular basis is something that's needed in our area. And looking forward to having the backing of Fibree and the assistance that they provide as a nonprofit organization, and helping to educate people on real estate tokenization and having that be a part of the discussions.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that we share a similar vision in that. And that's one of the things that I think that we can work together is also create a framework and make it more turnkey for other people that are wanting to do something similar within their local community. So looking forward to collaborating with you, Teresa, to come up again to make it easy and more of a turnkey solution for other people that are wanting to also position themselves as real estate and tokenization or blockchain, crypto. I mean, there's lots of opportunities here, because at the end of the day, most people aren't very aware of crypto or all the stuff that's occurring within the blockchain. I mean, there's just too much happening for any one person to be in the know of everything that's going on. So looking forward to creating an open and collaborative environment here where we can share information. That's one of the reasons that we've got tools like Slack, and really appreciate the contributions that you've been making already in Slack there, Serge. So thank you for that. And did you want to have anything that you would like to add from your perspective, Serge? Are you doing any news or anything on a local area? You're out in the DC area, correct?
Correct. No, I'm not doing anything.
Is that something that you've thought about or have any interest of on a local level there?
Maybe just on Clubhouse, but not locally.
All good. It does take some extra time and commitment. That's one of the reasons that I've got a potentially a unique background here behind me. It was funny. I was driving over to the library. I was getting ready to. I was wanting to be closer after this community call ends here in a little bit. Was going to be heading over to a local Bitcoin and beer and catching up over a pint at the one of the renowned craft breweries here in Denver. So that's one of the things I'll probably be sending a tweet out on that. But that's one of the things that I've been trying to do, as well as connect with other people in the crypto space here locally. Was even talking to Kenneth about Tyler and I are getting ready to head out to the Midwest there, and was talking to Kenneth about maybe swinging down that way and figuring out some local meetup or something like that, or at least seeing if they have any good chicken fried chicken. Do they have any good chicken fried chicken out your way, Kenneth?
Yeah, whatever you want to eat, you can find it for sure.
Fair enough. Looking forward to that. So again, one of the opportunities is to the most immediate one that we have is the Clubhouse coming up on Friday, and then we also have some other opportunities. We talked about the podcast and wanted to again extend it to anybody here that may be interested, because we're wanting to have a very collaborative type of a community, whether you've got a potential guest. And one of the places that we can contribute to that, we've got a podcast channel over here. So, and I'll actually, if anyone has a guest / crypto related project that we should interview, please share here. So, and to carry that thought a little more forward, if somebody also wants to be potentially a co-host on one of the shows, or maybe a panel, I mean, we're open to, inviting other people into this process. And we had a conversation. Kenneth actually volunteered. So again, thank you for all the work that you're doing behind the scenes, Kenneth, on some of the pre and post-production stuff, because we have expectations. Teresa has more of a background in broadcasting as far as the coordination of this and putting together something that we will feel confident about delivering a quality product to you. And like one of the things that I get to have a little bit more experience with is the Yeti that I invested in last year. And I know that Tyler would be happy to see me getting some more mileage out of it, because I only used it a few times last year on a previous project. So again, if you've got some ideas on podcast or anything related to crypto projects, I mean, especially related to what we're working towards here, the real estate tokenization. We also have a Telegram channel over here. That's at, and I have that linked in our Trello board, and we'll work on getting this information in a more concise place. But over here on the welcome page is a place that we are updating with the resources that we're primarily utilizing right now. So as like one of the to-dos that I personally have on my list, and I'm going to see if need to do much editing on this, and this might be kind of an opportunity for us to see if we could potentially make the audio from this similarly to what we'll be doing for a post-production to kind of polish up that. We can take that offline, and because there was a tool that Marcus Turner from Constructor, Teresa and I had a great breakout session with him where he was sharing some of his expertise on running a podcast. So we've got lots of resources here that we're making available to support the community and increase the community, because we're just getting started with this. Here's one of the milestones. So we've got a little milestones over here. Again, we just registered with the Wyoming Secretary of State. This was on July 26th. 2 days ago, everybody. So everything is happening really quick, and we're super excited. The reason that the people are on here tonight is that they see the opportunity and excited to be a part of the team here and the direction that we're going. So what would you like to top off with here, Teresa, before we call it for a close? I've got a hard stop at 6 before I get kicked out of the Denver library where I'm streaming from right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
I was just giving you the opportunity to chime in on anything else. I've got a hard stop at 6 and wanting to be respectful of everybody's time. I covered some of the things that I thought would be good for kicking off our introductory community call here on REtoken DAO.
Sure. I wanted to welcome Rosetta. She came in, give her an opportunity to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes. I am so sorry. I'm still working on with a client, but I'm so happy that this is going to be posted, and it's good to see everyone, and I'm interested in looking forward to working with everyone.
Awesome. I'd like everyone to know that we do have a group on Clubhouse, and you can join that group. It's called Real Estate Tokenization Group. And we will be putting our meetings that we will have on Clubhouse with that club as the host. So you can go to Clubhouse and search for Real Estate Tokenization under group section and follow the group. We'll add you as a member, and that way you won't miss any notifications that club is hosting. And also our website, once we finish it out, we'll have links to all of the social media sites as well as the Clubhouse. So you'll be able to easily access and link directly into those conversations there. And just looking forward to being able to blend my passion for real estate and my passion for technology and innovation, and as well as sustainability in the built environment and in our community, being able to potentially have access in a level playing field economically by tapping into collective funding sources. And, I think it's a great thing that we won't be at the tail end of the innovation coming forward through this, but that we can actually help shape it. If we work together, continue to build conversations. There's a lot of conversations going on around it. I think the more that we have, the more people become knowledgeable, maybe even encourage some of our youth to become developers and programmers in this field, because we'll need those talents and skills to help build more of this infrastructure, because I just think that it's going to revolutionize real estate and how we transact in real estate. Thank you, Jason, for hosting this meeting, and bringing the tools to help organize a decentralized, autonomous organization. I'm glad to be a part of it and to be able to contribute to something worthwhile and leave a legacy. Thank you.
Thank you for some final thoughts there. Teresa wanted to open it up for anybody else if they had any final thoughts. And I did hear, for everybody's benefit, I added a link on this welcome board here on Trello as well to our Clubhouse, and I popped in the tab over here to real estate tokenization there on Clubhouse. So probably try to make a easier place for that. And like Teresa said, we'll have that on the website shortly. So that being said, does anybody else want to have some final closing thoughts before we call it for a wrap here on our introductory community call, first official community call for REtoken DAO?
So I found contact information of Alex from Tezos. He's in Israel. I sent a message on Slack. And I was late because I was actually in Clubhouse listening to Tezos room where Draper, I forgot what's the name of it, Draper Holmes, invested in one of the startups which does tokenization of real estate. So I'm not sure if we have a conflict of interest or not. So we can try to invite them and ask questions and see if we can provide some information. But if Alex from Israel cannot come, we're supposed to have a team in New York. So maybe he can send somebody from New York office to talk with us. And we're supposed to have like assistance program, like free assistance program to even to like initial development or something like that. So because I remember Alex mentioned it, so maybe we can use that resource as well. Serge, I'm out.
Yeah, so that sounds like a solid potential podcast guest there as well, or maybe a AMA style format on Clubhouse or whatever channel that we decide to utilize. So appreciate that. Serge, did anybody else have any concluding thoughts before we call it for a wrap here today? All right, well, I think the silence is a great place to end. And again, this is Yanks with Real Estate Tokenization, REtoken, and we will be hosting these community calls on a weekly basis. This is Wednesday, and right now 7 o'clock is the regularly scheduled time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we've got some other opportunities to connect here between the next community call. One is which of the Clubhouse. We also have the DAO requirements for the DAO framework. So those that are interested in a DAO, that would be another opportunity to kind of be involved in asking the questions and then potentially even setting up the framework. But we'll circle back, and the DAO working group is going to be on Tuesday, and I'll get the invites out for those things to the applicable people. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And if you're following this video, make sure to follow the channel on whatever channel or platform that this ends up on. And looking forward to creating a very solid community owned for real estate tokenization, because we do believe that it can have impact not only within our own local communities, but globally as well. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.